Welcome, hackers. So today we're going to be looking at broken authentication implementations vulnerable to brute force password attacks. So if you're a fan of hacking challenges such as HackTheBox, TryHackMe, or traditional CTFs, this is a crucial skill you will need to access weak password protected accounts and sometimes even restricted admin portals. Let's take a look. Okay, so today we're going to be following along with the labs on Portswigger's Web Security Academy. If you haven't signed up yet, make sure to do that. It's a great resource. It's absolutely free, no cost, and it includes labs for you to follow along with. It's a great learning resource. So let's start there. Web Security Academy. Go ahead and log in. Create an account, log in. We're going to go down to authentication. We're going to scroll down a little bit. This is all the reading material you're going to go through. And we're looking at vulnerabilities and password-based login right up here. We're not going to go through every lab. Just this one alone will be enough to kind of just show you the fundamentals you're going to need to start doing these brute force attacks on your own. So these pages explain them here. And we're going to be looking at just some of the little tricks that kind of go into getting Burp Suite set up correctly to launch these attacks. So we're going to go down here to the lab section. We want this first one, username enumeration via different responses. So they give us two word lists to use. We have usernames and passwords. Let's go ahead and open those up and take a look. We have a big list of usernames here and a list of passwords. Okay, let's go ahead and access the lab. It's going to open up a little web application here that's vulnerable to these brute force attacks. So we're going to go to account login. Now in this lab, we don't know what the actual correct username is that exists on the server. We're trying to determine what the account is first, and then use the correct account with the correct password. So if we were to manually test, you can see here, we would never get through this. We need automated attacks. So let's go ahead and look at a little bit of the setup here. I'm using Firefox as my preferred hacking browser. I have a regular internet browser I use, such as Chrome, but Firefox allows you to overwrite the proxy setting for Firefox alone instead of the system proxy setting as a whole. So I really prefer that. I like the control I get with it. I can use my other browser outside of the proxy, outside of Burp, to search through the internet if I need it, and then I keep Firefox just through proxied out through Burp. So we're going to go to our settings here, options, scroll down to network settings, manual proxy, and I'm using just a localhost 127.0.0.1. I'm using port 8081. We're going to also use this proxy for FTP, HTTPS, and SOCKS 5. That should be good enough here. We're going to hit OK. I'm going to move into Burp Suite now. Go here to options. I'm going to edit mine. You may not have to do this, but I am using Firefox and I overwrote the proxy settings. So I'm going to change it to 8081 to match Firefox. Again, we should be good to go now. So let's head back to Firefox. And now let's just log in. I'm just going to do test. Let's make sure Burp Suite is ready to capture the request. Port 8081, proxy, intercept is on. Okay, so let's log in. And we capture the request in Burp. So what we want to do here, we don't know what the username or the password are. We want to attack both simultaneously with each individual word list that was given to us. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click and send to Intruder. And then we're going to move to the Intruder tab right up here. We're going to go to positions. We see 4 positions right now, these green ones here, these are all the parameters it's going to try to attack. We don't want it to attack all of them, so we're going to clear over here on the right, and we're going to choose just a username. Just click on the username portion and hit add. Then we want one for test as well. Add. Now it's set up for sniper attack. That's a single parameter attack. We want to attack both. So we're going to change sniper here and go down to pitchfork. That'll allow us to attack 2 parameters simultaneously. So now we're going to move over to payloads. This is all set up here. We have the username parameter and the password parameter are ready to be attacked. We're going to move to payloads. Let's switch over to Firefox now. And we're going to take the username list, select these usernames, okay, now we're going to go payload set 1, that's the first parameter, that's our username. Simple list, we're going to paste. So these are that list of usernames we copied. That's on payload 1. Which if we look here at the positions, it's going to be this one here, our username. Okay, so let's get those passwords now. Here's our list of passwords, Authentication Lab passwords. This is going to be our payload 2. So we're going to go back to Burp, payload 2, simple list, and paste. Okay, so now we have both payloads set, payload 1 and 2, with our list of our word list pasted in there. I'm going to uncheck the URL encode down here at the bottom. And now we're just going to simply hit start attack. Okay, so I went ahead and maximized the intruder window here once it's done. And let's go ahead and take a look through these results. There's something we're going to notice. There are a lot of 200 status requests, which is going to be kind of confusing because typically you want a 200. A 200 means you're successful. These are all 200. So it's going to throw just a little bit of a challenge in there. So when we can start with the first one here. We're going to have to just investigate a little bit. If we go to the response and we render it, we'll see the error message says invalid username. They're all going to say that. Invalid username. This username may not exist in this database. Is what it's telling us. These are just clues, so we have to look at when we're reviewing these results. So these are all the same. There's one that'll stick out a little bit. If we look at the length here, this one's 3074. All the rest are 3072 in length. Affiliates. When we look at that error message, it's a slightly different error message. Now we get incorrect password. So the username worked, but the password didn't. Okay, so now we're going to close that, and we're going to go back to the Intruder tab, close the results window, and go back to the Intruder tab. We're going to launch a new attack. So knowing what we know now, we have a working username, affiliates, and that's in my instance. It may be different in your lab instance. But we're going to go back here to our positions window. Here, we're going to clear again. This time, we can change the username here to affiliates in my case. Then I'm going to select password and do a single position. Then we're going to switch off of pitchfork and go back to sniper. So now we're doing a single parameter, sniper, and password. My username is affiliate. So go and put in your working username. We're going to go back to payloads. We're going to do payload set 1. We're going to clear that. Remember, those are usernames. So I'm going to go back here and grab that password list again. So we're only attacking the password parameter now. Let's paste that in. And then let's go ahead and start the new attack. So we're going to let that run. And we can already see a couple different length responses here. We have 3074, we have a 217, and 254s. So if we look at these 254s, these are 400 bad requests, so these are not going to work for us. But what is this 217? Why is this one slightly different? So password is AAAAAA. As you can see here, the attack is finished, and that's the one single entry that stands out. So we have affiliates, username, and password AAAAAA. Let me close that here. I'm going to turn intercept off and go back to Firefox. Let's go back to the login page here. Account login. Affiliates. AAAAAA. And I'm in. Hello, affiliates. So guys, if you're following along, that's really all there is to it for brute force attacks. Just a single sniper and the pitchfork attack will cover most cases as far as beginner to intermediate CTFs, HackTheBox and TryHackMe challenges go. So let me know if there are any other topics you'd like to see. And as always, please like, follow, subscribe, and thank you so much for stopping by the channel, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks.